It is time for Weight Loss Wednesday. A recent survey by the FDA found 62% of adults are trying to lose weight. This morning, we are going to help two of our viewers do just that. After a very difficult search through videotapes submitted by many of you, we have selected one man and one woman to take part in our program. Here's a look at them.
Normal sizes. I don't want to be a size 6. Actually, my left leg is a size 6. I just want to be a normal size.
This is what I've come to be. I'll give you a full turnaround shot. I don't want to deprive you of the whole ordeal. Anyway, let me tell you why I'm sending this tape in. It's been, after 4 children, my wife seems to still be skinny, and I seem to have gained and retained all the weight.
Dan Brooks joins us with his shirt on, yes. And Leslie Cronin, thank you very much for sending in your tapes. It's such a brave thing to do. Leslie was telling you, you're bold for doing that. But it really was a brave move. What made you decide to send in a tape?
You know, it was something that I was already prepared to do, was get on some type of program. So when I saw this on the news, I knew I just had to send in a tape. And in fact, I sent it in real quickly. I didn't even want to review it. I just wanted to hurry and get it in before I had a second thought.
And Leslie, you were just saying in your tape, we saw a clip of it, but more of it where you were just saying, I've had it, I'm done with being overweight. Did you feel like you had hit your mark and you just needed some help?
Yes, I've gotten to the point where I grew one more size, and it was that limit. And I don't want to be fat anymore. I'm not fat on the inside, I don't want to be fat on the outside.
We're so glad that both of you guys sent in your tapes, and for everyone who sent in tapes, we're so grateful that you did this, because it gave us a lot of insight into what a lot of people are going through. I mean, so many of us, 62% of us, are trying to lose weight. What hopes do you have for this program?
I have great hopes. I think in meeting with Gary, the best part about it is I'm going to start making promises to myself and keeping them. And I think that's the biggest thing for me, as well as showing a good example to my family, my young boys.
And what about you, Leslie?
I want to stop being tired in the middle of the day. And I work for the American Diabetes Association, and I work with a lot of people with diabetes. I know that I'm at risk for it, and I don't want it. I want to get healthier, not less healthy.
Now, I know that you met with Gary, who's going to be with us the next hour. He's a dietitian, the nutritionist, who's going to help you with this program. He didn't really go over the specifics, but what did he talk to you guys about this program?
I think he wanted to make sure that that I meant it, that this wasn't a whim, that I was serious about releasing weight and being healthy, and that I was motivated. And I don't think you could sit in a room with him for more than about 40 seconds without being motivated.
Right, getting some motivation. And you felt the same way?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thanks very much for coming in this morning. We'll talk to you in the next hour as well and kind of go over more of the specifics of the program. And we hope that all of you will follow along with this, because this is something that we're going to be doing over the next 13 weeks. We're going to be following Leslie and Dan, but you can follow along at home, and we hope you keep us posted on your results as well. So we'll see you guys next chapter in the battle for weight loss for two TV5 viewers. After a difficult selection process, Dan Brooks and Leslie Cronin have been chosen to take part in a 13-week program with Medical Solutions of Scottsdale. And this morning we are joined by Dan and Leslie, as well as nutritionist Gary Brisker. Thanks very much, all of you, for coming in.
You're welcome.
Now, I know you met with Dan and Leslie before. What did you tell them about the program, or what can they expect?
Well, I told them that what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking their blood, doing an EKG. We're going to do a psychological profile to see whether weight gain is either hormonal, behavioral, psychological, or a combination of those. They'll meet with one of our medical doctors, and we'll determine whether they need to be put on an appetite suppressant. Then they'll meet with myself, as going over the nutritional part of it, and then they'll meet with the physiologist to go over the exercise part of it, and we'll be accountable each week for each one of those people. We have a great medical staff that will, modify their behavior while we're seeing what they do each week.
Are you guys ready for this? Was it more involved than you expected, or just what you think you need?
I think just what we need.
Yeah, I'm absolutely ready, and I think this pressure is going to be really good. I think that's what I need too. It's
Being
like
accountable to
Yeah.
somebody. Well, let's talk about the exercise, because I know that a lot of times, we talk about exercise and what sort of level and intensity we should exercise at. We can find that through our heart rate, right?
Exactly.
How do we calculate
Well,
that?
the best way to do it is to find out your target heartbeat range. Take 220 minus your age, and then multiply it times 60%, and that would be the low end. Or take 220 minus your age times 80%, and that would be the high end of where your heartbeat rate should be. And keep it in that zone 15 to 45 minutes every day, or do it for an hour 3 times a week, and that will cardiovascular get you ready as far as eliminate burning calories and eliminate atrophy in the body.
As far as fat burning goes, is there an area, should you be closer to 60% or closer to 80% of your target heart rate?
As long as you stay in between, you're fine. Like 80 would be the limit,
Okay.
and then 60 would be the minimum you would need to do to get any results.
Okay, and let's also talk about a lot of the things that we eat, sort of hidden things. We have some fat-free dressing, which it looks like it would be a great option, make that lettuce taste better, but it's not so good, huh?
No, well, see, you have to watch both fat and sugar, and there's
Okay.
a formula that I used so that people will lower their percentage of body fat and get where they need to be, where you take the, first of all, you check the fat. This has no fat, but normally you would take the total fat grams, multiply times 10, and divide by the calories per serving. That has to be less than 20%, or it's
Okay.
too much fat. Now in this, which is misleading, you do the same formula for the sugar. You take the total sugar grams and multiply times 10 and divide by the calories per serving. It has to be less than 20%, and this would be 40%. So I tell people, when you're eating a lot of your fat-free salad dressings,
Right.
there's a lot of sugar in it. It's almost like putting Reese's Pieces on your salad and wondering why you're still gaining weight.
Well, and this only has 2 grams of sugar, which when you look at it, it looks like it's a low amount. I mean, on the low end, I know when I look at labels, I think 2 grams, that doesn't sound like a lot.
But it's only
when you
50
do-
calories per serving, so there's a lot of sugar in the 50 calories, because that, if you multiply, you're going to get 40% would be the sugar. So,
Okay.
so you want it to be under 20%.
Okay, so there are a lot of things we need to take into account and really keep track of. It's not just, it's not easy things. You got to do some figuring on what these things are.
Absolutely.
Right, okay. Well, thanks very much for coming in, you guys, and we look forward to following you every Wednesday morning and finding out how you're doing. It'll be great to do.
Thank you.
And I know we kind of went over this information quickly. If you have questions about any of these formulas that Gary talked about, you can give us a call on our helpline at 602-650-5555 or check our website, kphotv5.com, and get some of the, we'll put you in touch with Gary to get the information from there. Roger? It is our Weight Loss Wednesday, time to get you caught up on the progress of 2 people taking part in the program. Last week we introduced you to Dan Brooks and Leslie Cronin. They are now a week into their goal to lose weight. TV5's Maria Piani went to Medical Solutions of Scottsdale to follow their progress.
What'd you get for number 7?
No sharing answers.
No, Leslie and Dan aren't taking a test. They are filling out a lifestyle questionnaire. This helps doctors and nutritionists design a personal weight loss program. Next, it's time to give blood.
But basically, it's a chem screen, a blood count, a blood sugar, and a thyroid profile. And that gives us a pretty good picture of their health situation.
The program includes a healthy diet, and that means no fat, salt, or sugar.
By being on the right kind of eating program, the weight's going to come off, and they can keep it off because this is how they're going to eat the rest of their lives.
Once they've given blood, a nurse hooks them up to an EKG machine. This tells doctors the condition of the heart. Doctors monitor the participants' heart because of the change in diet and exercise, plus in some cases an appetite suppressant is used to help in the weight loss program.
If you have any problems anytime, any questions anytime, get on the phone. Don't be bashful.
Leslie and Dan have been on the program for a few days. So, how is it going?
I was going to eat my dresser. I was so hungry and miserable. The second day was not so bad, and yesterday was the third day, and I no longer want to kill people, and I think I could do this.
I never thought I could eat so little and so good and yet feel good. I was more tired when I was eating everything I wanted. And that's, I don't tell it to my wife much because she really will put me to work around the house. But honestly, you just feel better.
And it's paying off.
When you get
Dan
down to
has
the proper
lost
weight,
7 pounds, and Leslie is down 4. Way to go. Maria Piani, TV5 News.
Good for them. Well, in about an hour, Dan and Leslie will join us in the studio to talk about their program and talk about the program, their successes, and their trouble spots. It is time for Weight Loss Wednesday. Our participants started the program just last week and they've already seen great results. Gary Brisker from Medical Solutions of Scottsdale is here along with Leslie Cronin and Dan Brooks. Good morning to you all.
Good morning.
Now, let's run through how much weight and how much body fat you've dropped in just 1 week.
7 pounds and 3% of body fat.
That's great. And Leslie?
4 pounds and 2%.
That's
But
gotta-
he cheated because he's a man. So everybody knows they lose weight faster.
Right, but that has to be a great motivator. I mean, to have already lost weight.
Absolutely. Well, and that's success begets success.
Yeah.
So you get more excited to keep going.
Now tell me what you guys are having to eat and drink and how you're losing this weight.
An amazing amount of vegetables.
Really?
Yeah, mainly vegetables and then lean protein. Fish. Fish are your friend.
Really?
Fish and chicken, basically. Fish and chicken.
Now, what's the goal of this? What are some of the things that they can and can't eat? And what's we don't want to say diet, but what are the foods that you want them to eat?
Well, you want them to eat things that aren't going to raise their percentage of body fat. And when you're doing things like beef or what I call inactive animals, the cholesterol can change and your percentage of body fat increases. But doing chicken and fish and turkey and seafood, as long as things are prepared where they're baked and broiled and grilled and steamed and boiled, that's fine, because you can turn fish into a cow real quick by frying it or breading it. So.
Right, making it really tasty. What about the fruits and vegetables? How much fruit and vegetables?
Well, 2 to 3 fruits a day and around 5 to 7 vegetables a day. And they're allowed 2 to 3 protein items a day, and we give them a couple dairy items a day and a starch a day, and a lot of water.
Yeah. That's been the easiest part for you guys, huh? Drinking the water?
Yeah.
The water has been for me. I was surprised, but the more water I drink, the thirstier I am. I don't know why that is, but...
And it fills you up. A lot of times the water fills you up. You think you're hungry, but you take in the water, and it was really the water you needed, not the food.
Now, Dan, you travel around a lot in your job. Has it been hard? Have you been packing a lunch, or what have you been doing?
I've had to pack a lunch so that I wasn't tempted to go somewhere and find the wrong things. So for now, that's what I'm doing, is packing a lunch with me.
He also has to wear Depends, but that's okay.
I stop by a lot of places.
Yeah, you know every gas station in town. And that's one of the things, planning, packing a lunch, knowing what you're going to eat, right? Not waiting until the last minute.
Well, like I said, I've said it on the show before, if you fail to plan, plan to fail. And if you don't have anything in your car and you're starving to death, those flashing drive-through signs look real good after a while.
Right. Now, Leslie, you went out to eat and that you had a problem. That was kind of a
Yeah, I
problem.
thought I could do that. I thought I can go to this restaurant, one of my favorite restaurants, and order correctly. And I did order correctly. However, the portion size I was supposed to eat was like this, and then the portion size they brought me was like this. And over the course of an hour, hour and a half, I ate it all of it. So restaurants on first eating plan day, very bad idea.
The good news is, though, that you can still make a few mistakes during the course of the week, but if you stick to the plan, she still lost 4 pounds and lowered her percentage of body fat even with that, so it really wasn't that bad.
That's great. Well, that's so wonderful for both of you. Congratulations to you both. We look forward to seeing more progress. That's wonderful. And if you have any questions about what we've talked about here on Weight Loss Wednesday, you can, or if you have any questions for Gary, just give us a call at our helpline, 650-5555, or log on to our webpage at kphotv5.com. You'll find the information under February links. Now let's look at We are now into our second week of Weight Loss Wednesday. Both of our participants are on a strict diet as well as an exercise routine. And while the benefits will be worth it, the munchies are hard to fight. Dan Brooks explains in this video he made one evening from his kitchen.
I just want something to eat so badly. In fact, I want something sweet to eat. And I'm wondering, isn't there anything I can have, or what do you think I ought to do? As a matter of fact, I came up with my own idea. Gary, I could have these right now, and I wouldn't even have to wait to cook them.
They're better uncooked, aren't they? Dan Brooks and Gary Brisker are here with us this morning. Great video. Now, what did you do that night to satisfy your craving?
I just didn't. We put those
Swear,
away, and
right?
I made it to bedtime and hurried and went to sleep.
But you can have something sweet to eat if you have those sweet cravings at night, right?
Night fruits. The night fruits are melons, berries, and nice pink grapefruits. Those things will satisfy your sweet tooth, and because the melons are mostly water, but if you can have a nice big piece of watermelon instead of the cookie dough, you'll do much better.
And you feel like you're getting that sweetness.
Absolutely.
It's not that bad for you. What about, you were also talking about you wanted popcorn at the movies the other night.
Yeah, we went into the movies the other day, and I knew I couldn't have popcorn, and popcorn is one of my favorite things, especially with the butter. So, yeah, I filled up on water before I went in and just sat through the movie with nothing while my kids ate the popcorn. And it wasn't easy.
What do you do then?
Well, you have to sneak things into the movie theater. Actually, air pop popcorn's very healthy for you. It's good fiber. As long as you don't have the excess of oils that they soak them in. I mean, I'm not even talking about the butter. I'm talking about a lot of movie theaters prepare it with coconut oil, which actually clogs the arteries, which isn't good for you. Some theaters are now getting to air pop popcorn and even using canola oil or virgin olive oil as their oil base for the popcorn, which is a lot healthier. But it's good to stay away from buttered popcorn because that's soaked in 100% fat, and even a lot of the bad oils that are in most of the movie theaters.
And what about the microwave popcorn that says light or low fat or 99% fat free? What about those?
Well, a lot of the light, it's like saying light ham. Okay, I've never seen a light pig. Okay, just like I don't see too much light. You know, you have to really study the ingredients and don't go so much with the marketing names of things, because light could mean 1,000 different things, and it doesn't really necessarily mean that they've taken out a lot of the excess of fat.
Okay, a lot of restrictions, but they're working off. We want to look at Gary's progress over the last, since February 2nd. We've got that panel. 226 pounds and 41% of body fat. Then on the 13th of the month, 259, 38% body fat, losing some weight and losing some body fat. And then just yesterday, 255 pounds and 34% body fat. That's great.
Yeah.
Have you noticed a difference in your clothes or anything like that?
I have. I think more just in the way I carry myself and the way I feel, but the clothes are a little looser as well, which helps.
And you're saying the energy is also helping a lot, keeping you motivated?
Yeah. Yeah, that's having more energy is just, it's fun.
Yeah, you're not so tired at the end of the day, right?
That's right.
That's great. Well, you're doing a wonderful job, and we thank you again for coming in this morning. And we'll see you, Gary, next hour.
Okay, you got it.
All right. It is week 2 for Leslie Cronin, our participant in our Weight Loss Wednesday. And if you've ever tried to lose weight, you know it is not easy. This morning, Leslie is talking about how hard it is to give up junk food.
But I still drive by my favorite fast food place and want to stop. I can still taste a hamburger. As I go past these places and I want to stop, I say, which would you rather have, a healthy, fit body or a hamburger? So far, the answer has always been a healthy, fit body.
That's great. Leslie joins us this morning along with Gary Brisker again this hour to talk to us about the plan and how you're doing on it. What have you done to keep yourself from going through those drive-thrus?
I carry food with me in the car. I have gone and purchased, excuse me, my crown's in.
Yes, we'll explain the crown in a minute that Leslie will wear.
I purchased like 2 pounds of frozen cooked shrimp and a bunch of frozen fruit, and then I packaged them in appropriate size servings, and that's what I eat. And I carry fruit, carrots, pea pods, and Cheerios in the car with me.
And you were saying that the frozen fruit, you leave it frozen because it's like ice cream or
yes,
candy,
right. It's really sweet. It takes a long time to eat, and it satisfies that kind of munchy, want some candy, keeps me away from the candy machine thing. Very sweet.
Have you found that you've been able to eat anything that you were eating in the past in this new program?
Skim milk. That's the only thing. Yeah, I guess the good news is I was eating everything wrong, so you know, the change once my body got over the shock is rapid.
That's great. Well, Gary, and you were talking kind of at the beginning, plan, whatever.
Have you failed to plan, plan to fail.
Yeah, and that's really, I mean, Leslie's an
she's
example
doing
of planning.
fantastic because you're going to have cravings, and so you have to have food near you so that you satisfy the cravings and you don't go for the things that are off the program. Just like when you go to a supermarket, always go after you've eaten a meal, not on an empty stomach, because you know you're going to go down the wrong aisles if you go when you're hungry.
Right, and are there any fast food things we can eat or just avoid
there's
them
plenty
altogether?
of things. You can go to Subway and get a turkey, lettuce, tomato on whole wheat with mustard. You can have different fish sandwiches. You just can't do a lot of the things that are fried or have the oils or staying away from the beef and the pork and the hot dogs and those kind of foods. But there are a lot of fast food places that you can get healthy food.
Okay. Well, Leslie, please put on your crown because we're going to talk about the reason why you're wearing it. She's lost more weight this week than Dan. I guess a little competition going on. And we want to go over her progress. On February 2nd, it was 240 pounds, 61% body fat. Then on the 13th, 236 and 59% body fat. And then just yesterday, 231 and 56% body fat. And you feeling pretty good?
Yes, and I don't want to be arrogant or anything.
No, it looks wonderful on you.
Thank you. It
Wear it all
feels
day.
wonderful.
Yeah, thanks for coming in and congratulations. You're doing a great job. And if you have any questions about the advice here on Weight Loss Wednesday or have any questions for Gary Brisker, just check out our website at kphotv5.com. Thanks for being in this morning with us. Today is Weight Loss Wednesday. We are into week number 3. Exercise is an important part of weight loss. TV5's Mario Piani shows us how Leslie Cronin, one of our weight loss participants, is getting into shape.
I cannot believe I'm letting you watch me do this.
Leslie stretches before heading out on her walk. She's walking 3 days a week for 20 minutes.
Head up, shoulders back, shoulders above my hips. Don't lock the knees, don't bang the heels. Here we go.
Leslie just started a workout routine.
Exercise is really difficult for me to do because every time I exercise, I'm thinking about the things I should be doing.
So, Leslie's friends, Sally, who is the photographer, and Hayden are keeping her motivated by going along.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm okay.
Leslie met with an exercise physiologist to go over a workout appropriate for her. They went over target heart rate and goals.
What we'd like to see her do, or most patients do, is 30 minutes of continuous cardiovascular exercise 5 days a week. And eventually we do implement some weight training type exercises, toning exercises, stretches. Again, it all depends on the goal of the patient.
Leslie keeps track of her workouts in a journal. She'll be adding stomach crunches this week.
I'm looking forward to getting to the point where when I'm done exercising, I really feel better. Right now I'm doing it because I'm supposed to.
Maria Piani, TV5 News.
And Gary Brisker is here this morning to talk to us more about our Weight Loss Wednesday and how Leslie is doing. How much weight has she lost so far?
She's lost 12 pounds. She's actually lost 1.5 of these.
That's yucky. That's just disgusting. You know, feels like a thigh or something. But she's lost 12 pounds and 9% of her body fat. That's great.
She's doing a great job. Medical Solutions, our whole staff at Medical, are very proud of both the participants. They're doing great work. And Marnie, our physiologist, who does a great job also, has got her on good exercise.
Now, she said eventually get up to 5 days a week, 30 minutes at a time of exercising. Leslie's only doing 3 times a week, 20 minutes. Like, so you start gradually. It's not something you should just go full into.
No, you know, if the body's atrophied a little bit because it's been stagnant or hasn't done anything, you know, you start slow, and as the body gets acclimated to it, you just add a little bit each time, and you set attainable goals. And the body's a great machine. It'll be able to acclimate itself, and she'll be walking a lot more over the next 2-3 weeks.
And soon we'll enjoy it. Now, she did slip up this week, right? She ate some chocolate cake.
Yeah, she had a virus on the computer, but we rebooted her.
Yes.
And she's doing fine now. But the thing, she still lost weight, and you know, you don't ever feel guilty to the point where you get discouraged, because you're going to make a couple of mistakes here and there. But the key is that she lost, you know, a few more pounds this week, and she's down to 12 pounds for 3 weeks, which is fantastic.
Yeah, 12 pounds, 9% of her body fat. That's great. Now, a lot of people who sent in tapes to take part in our Weight Loss Wednesday segment said things that they had like a bad back, or they had a knee, they'd had, you know, knee surgery and stuff like that. So people who might have a health problem who are trying to exercise, what should they do?
Well, aquatic classes are real good because the buoyancy in the water makes it people that have had knee problems, hip replaced, joint problems, bone spurs, they can get into a swimming pool and do aquatic classes and be able to get their heartbeat rate up and still burn the calories, but have not affect the joints at all.
Okay, and the physiologist was saying adding a weight training class, and that's something that a lot of us hear when we work out, that you need to do weights as well as cardio. But that's something that you shouldn't go to the gym, do you think, and just hit the weights and hit the treadmill and everything else at once?
Well, you got to get on a planned program. I think you got to get you got to get your body acclimated to that too. See, the reason why you get into weight resistance is because for every pound of fat you change to muscle, okay, you burn 50 more calories a day. Okay. So you definitely want to get into weight resistance, you know, once your body's in condition and ready for it.
Okay. Well, we'll talk to you in the next hour about how Dan is doing. He's doing really well too. If you have questions for Gary, you can just give us a call at 480-970-0665. That's for
Medical Solutions, yeah.
Okay, so you'll get Gary. It is Weight Loss Wednesday, and we are into week number 3. Exercise is an important part of weight loss, and during the last hour we showed you how Leslie Cronin is getting into shape. Now TV5's Mario Piani takes a look at the plan for Dan Brooks.
It is now about 10 minutes to 5 in the morning. I'm very tired.
Dan is the first one up in his home. He's heading out for a run, something he does 3 days a week.
And I'll tell you what I don't like. That's the part where you get up in the morning and you're trying to get dressed, and it's maybe cold outside, and it's that first 5 to 10 minutes of exercising. That's the part to me that's the hardest. Until you break a sweat and you start to get into a stride.
Hi, Dan.
Hi, how are you?
Dan met with an exercise physiologist to go over his workout routine. He's doing sit-ups and push-ups, plus cardiovascular.
Recommendations for him would be to continue, but again, for him to reach that target heart range, and eventually we may start with some interval training for him as far as his cardiovascular training.
I just finished up with a run. I'm feeling good right now. In fact, I always feel better after the exercise.
Just a summary of stretches.
Dan logs his workouts into a journal to keep track of his progress. He's up to 5 days a week, including playing basketball with friends.
Running down the basketball court, you're still just carrying a lot of extra weight. And I can tell I'm the first guy to start lagging when they're running to the other end. So I'm waiting. I'm hoping that in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I start to see a little difference in that.
Dan has already seen results. His clothes fit looser. Mario Piani, TV5 News.
Great for Dan. Gary Brisker is here again this hour to talk to us more about this. We want to go over Dan's accomplishment. He has lost 16 pounds and 8% of his body fat already in just 3 weeks.
Fantastic.
That's great.
The whole group at Medical Solutions are real proud of both participants. They're doing a great job.
Yeah, and I think Dan is a good example of having a wonderful support group. I mean, he has friends to play basketball with, and his family's getting involved. We'll talk about that in a second. But people who want to do something, who need a team sport, I guess, to stay interested in exercise, it might be a good idea, huh?
Oh, absolutely. We're getting, as the weather gets warmer, water volleyball, even regular sand volleyball, basketball, anything outdoors, get a group together, go hiking, go biking, anything that gets the heart rate or gets you outside moving is excellent for you.
Yeah, and as Dan was saying, the competition makes him want to lose weight faster, so he'll make it down the court a little bit quicker.
The next few weeks, as those pounds come off, since he's lost 16, it'll be a lot easier for him to play full court basketball.
That's great. And also his family is really helping him out in this. When he wants dessert, they have fruit, right?
Yeah, well, the one thing you don't want is your family, friends, or your mate to sabotage you, because you can basically sabotage yourself enough. And so to have your family on the same page as you are, where you're sitting there eating fruits for dessert and not be tempted to have other types of desserts, it makes it real good because everybody's healthy at the same time.
Right, that's great. Instead of having the chocolate cake, or like we saw last week, him with that tube of cookie dough. Probably no more in the house.
Yeah, he also likes to fool me by putting 3 Snickers bars on his food logs, even though he's not eating them, just to get me excited.
Make sure you're working.
Exactly.
All right. Well, and also we had talked about last hour about foods that reduce stress, but exercise is really the best thing.
Exercise is phenomenal to reduce stress because when you get out and you get your heartbeat rate up, and you like Dan was saying, once the sweat comes and the endorphins kick in, that's a great way to reduce stress.
Yeah, it is those first 5 minutes that kill you. All right. Thanks very much, Gary.
You're welcome.
It is week 4 of our Weight Loss Wednesday segment, and this morning it's time to check in with our participants. Leslie Cronin has a lot to celebrate this week. Of course, she continues to lose weight, but she also made quite an accomplishment.
These are my mother's wedding rings, and she wore them for about, I think, 45 years. No, that's wrong. 50 years. She wore them for 50 years. And she died about 1.5 years ago. And I've not been able to put them on since she died because my fingers were too fat.
And now she's wearing them. Leslie Cronin is here with Gary Brisker. Thanks very much for coming in this morning. What made you decide to try the rings on?
Well, I got up in the morning and I put on a pair of jeans and they felt a little loose, and it happened to be my mom's birthday, so I thought, I'm going to try these rings on, and they just slid right on. So it was really cool. It was like, happy birthday, Mom.
Yeah, you're losing weight and getting some jewelry out of the deal. That's great. Well, let's go over how much you've lost. Total of 14 pounds in a month and 8% of her body fat, huh?
8% body fat. She's doing fantastic.
Is that the normal amount, or is she doing better than expected, or?
I think she's doing better than expected, and I think that her percentage of body fat's coming off rapidly, and I think she's getting more and more focused as the program goes on.
And you're also needing less sleep, right?
Yes, that's pretty exciting. I mean, I was like a 9-hour-a-night girl.
Right.
And now 6 or 7 hours is plenty.
And why is that?
Well, she's not doing caffeine and sugar, and those are two of the things that give you a roller coaster ride as far as being hypertensive or mood swings,
Right.
or changing your energy level. And the other thing is that caffeine and sugar actually break down your antibodies and your immune system. So it's good when you get away from those and she's drinking a lot of water. She's strengthening her antibodies and immune system, so it's a big difference too.
So
A lot of water.
Really? About how much water do you drink?
Water. Well, I go through 2 32-ounce bottles, and then I drink glasses of water with dinner or breakfast or lunch or before I go to bed. So it's over 64 ounces.
You feel like, besides being good for you, it's showing in your skin. I mean, you look
Absolutely.
great. You look fantastic.
Thank you.
You really
Thank you.
do.
Yeah, that's one of the things that that's one of the things that people have noticed, that my skin has gotten really, I think I said on the tape, plump. It's plump.
Yeah.
I'm not getting plump, but my skin is plumping. And so that's really cool, especially for being over 20.
Well, now, a lot of diets have you eating snacks, but you eat just 3 meals a day, no snacks in between, right? Is that
Right.
what a lot of people do, or is it kind of personalized?
They're allowed to do some snacking with different vegetables or different things, but this works for her better, and she feels comfortable. So as long as she doesn't go more than 3 hours without eating something, because that's if you go 3 hours or more, the next thing you eat can turn into fat.
Okay.
And I need to concentrate when I'm eating, because if I'm doing something else while I'm eating, watching TV or talking to people, I'll just eat and eat and eat, and pretty soon, like, the tablecloth is gone. So I need to just eat. So snacking is like, I don't want to do it.
You.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Thanks very much. Well, congratulations. You look
Thank
great.
you.
Look wonderful. I can't wait to see you next week. And if you'd like information about what we talked about here, and the Medical Solutions phone number is 480-970-0665. Roger? It is week 4 of our Weight Loss Wednesday segment, and this morning it's time to check in with Dan Brooks to see how he is doing this morning. He's in the middle of his personalized weight loss program, and let's go over quickly. He joins us this morning along with Gary Brisker from Medical Solutions. So how much weight have you lost now, Dan?
20 pounds in 4 weeks.
That's
Fantastic.
great. And what percent of your body fat? 9% of your body fat already, huh?
Yeah.
And besides, I mean, you look great and you feel great, but you no longer have heartburn and stomach problems like what you had, right?
That's right. No, it's been 4 weeks without any heartburn. Heartburn used to be, I had it every night. I mean, that was just a way of life.
Yeah.
Propping up the pillows, laying back, it was horrible. But as a matter of fact, it was heartburn that woke me up early in the morning in January when I saw that you needed people to come on this show to lose weight. So thank goodness it was there.
Yeah, and you got rid of it. Now, Gary, why is it that Dan had that heartburn?
Well, he's doing a lot of dairy and processed foods and meats. And the lactase, the sugar enzymes in the dairy products will definitely give you the burning sensation if you can't handle all that lactase. And then the meats, the high marbleized cholesterol can also do it. And then processed foods, all the chemicals.
Okay, so what are you eating now? What do you eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
For breakfast, I'll either have an egg white omelet with some vegetables in it, or a lot of times I'll just have just a cup of Cheerios with some milk and a banana in it. Real simple. And for lunch, I'll have a chicken salad that I mix up without mayonnaise.
Right.
But it's real good. Just some onions, some apple, and some chicken. And it's just I can't believe how
And
good it is.
Just regular mustard, or is that where you're? Are you
You know,
not
I'm not even using mustard
really?
right now
Okay.
with it. But now that Gary said that, I I think I'm going to try it. But also for dinner, I just cook up some vegetables and then put in a little Cajun turkey breast or something that'll give a little flavor to those vegetables. And it's delicious. It's great.
You know what I think is so interesting, Gary, is I was talking to Leslie as well about what she's eating, and neither Leslie nor Dan mentioned salad, which was what we always think of as a diet food. You guys really aren't eating, lettuce and boring stuff like that,
I
right?
eat some, but that's
Really?
not the staple of what I'm eating.
No,
It's-
they're getting a lot of vegetables, and they're getting a lot of greens, which is important, and they're getting a lot of colorful vegetables, which
Right.
are strong antioxidants. But the biggest mistake that people make is when they're eating salads, they soak it in salad dressings that either have way too much fat or too much sugar to make it not work, and it's counterproductive.
Okay, and now you're also been working out lately, huh?
Yeah. I've been doing treadmill and the stationary bike, and then also doing a little running and I play basketball a couple times a week.
Are you finding that you're having more energy and all that other stuff?
I was get up the basketball court this week before the ball came back the other way, so that was good.
That's great. That's great. And you are kind of on that. Gary was talking about you, that you were over that hump and you're just enthusiastic sticking with it, right?
Yeah, things are exciting. I mean, you're seeing progress. You get excited. I'm on a roll.
And
now,
He's in the zone.
but
He's in the
don't let
zone.
me kid you. I look in the mirror. Gravity still has a lot to work with, so we're gonna do a little better.
But you know what I think is great is that you passed up, somebody brought in Krispy Kremes this morning, and you passed them up this morning and didn't even want one, right?
Didn't
Well,
even
Gary was
flinch.
right here,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, but, man, maybe that's the reason, because I'm here.
Yeah, we wouldn't tell on you.
Okay.
All right. And if you want information about what we talk about here on our Weight Loss Wednesday, just give us a call at 650-5555 or check out our website at kphotv5.com. We'll put you in touch with Gary. Thanks, Gary. The pounds keep coming off for our Weight Loss Wednesday participants. We are now into week number 5, and one of the reasons Dan and Leslie are losing weight is because of exercise. Maria Piani joins us now from the Village Fitness Club. Good morning, Maria.
Good morning, Christina. Isn't it amazing? It's been 5 weeks, and both participants are doing fantastic. First, I want to talk to Dan Brooks. Dan, how have you been doing, and how much weight have you lost?
Actually, it's been 6 weeks, and I've lost 26 pounds.
Terrific. So how do you feel? You said when you first started exercising it was difficult, but how's it going?
Oh, it's going much better. I feel great. I can tuck in my shirt now.
You like that, huh?
Absolutely.
What about your eating habits? How have those changed?
You know, I just eat less now, and food doesn't seem to be the overwhelming desire, or it doesn't consume me all the time. So
We're going to check back with you. We're going to let you work out a little bit. Now I want to introduce Gary Brisker, who is the Program Service Director at Medical Solutions. Thanks so much for joining us. He's really done an amazing job.
Yeah, he's lost 5 inches in his waist in 6 weeks, and he's gone down 10% body fat, which is phenomenal. He's really doing a great job.
It's really neat to see how well he's done, and he's really stuck by it.
He's very focused. He's in the zone. And now he's at the point where he's so enthusiastic. It's kind of self-empowerment now, where he basically has got so much enthusiasm. He's doing everything perfect.
Thanks, Gary, so much for joining us. I also want to introduce Marnie Dolan, who's the exercise physiologist, and you're going to kind of talk with us a little bit today about sort of the exercise regime that you have both participants on.
Right, and Dan has been doing beautifully. He actually, like Gary said, has lost 5 inches in his waist. What we're going to do with Dan today is kick it up a notch. He's been doing cardiovascular training already. What we're going to do is some interval cardiovascular training, where he kicks it up to a run every 5 minutes.
It's really amazing. He says he started out 3 days a week, and now he's pretty much getting up to 5 days a week.
He's doing up to 4 to 5 days a week of cardiovascular, playing basketball with the kids, keeping up with his friends, and that's what we're going to do today.
Can you kind of just kind of walk over here and show us a little bit of what, kind of the things you explained to Dan and what he will be working on, and how, when you talk about stepping it up, kind of explain a little bit how that works.
What Dan is equipped with is a heart monitor. If you'll notice, he's wearing a heart monitor. What we're going to do is some cardiovascular interval training. We're going to kick it up a notch. We're going to take him for a run 1 to 2 minutes every 5 minutes. It's basically like a set for the heart. So he does target heart rate at 5 minutes of 130 to 140, and then he kicks it up for 1 to 2 minutes for a target heart rate 160 to 170.
And how long will he stick with this particular workout regime?
Probably 3 to 4 weeks, and then we're going to change it. As he changes, we change the program.
Pretty amazing. What do you recommend for people that may be just starting to work out, that are just getting into it? What do you recommend they do?
Walking. Just get out, get active. Do some walking, 20 minutes tops. Once your heart rates start to increase, then you go ahead and increase it to 30 minutes.
Sounds really good, Marnie. Thank you so much for joining us.
You bet.
Thanks, Dan. And coming up in the next half hour, we're going to check on Leslie to see how she has done. And I want to go ahead and pass along some information if you would like more information about Medical Solutions. You can get more information with the phone number on your screen at 480-970-0665. That's for more information. A great program. It's so great to see how well Dan does, and Marnie and everybody's been here working with him. So coming up, we're going to check on Leslie and see how she's doing. Christina?
Yeah, they are doing great. 5 inches off Dan's
I know.
waist.
Isn't that amazing? He says he
That's
can tuck things
wonderful.
in. His pants fit better. He's really excited.
Good for him. And I see Leslie behind you working out, so we'll give her another hour on that
She
machine,
is. She's
right?
got 1 more hour for us.
It is week 5 of our Weight Loss Wednesday, so it's time to check in to see how Dan and Leslie are doing this morning. And
Today we are talking about exercise. Maria Piani is at the Village. Good morning, Maria.
Good morning, Christine and Roger. We are on exercise balls this morning. Leslie and I, they are doing fantastic. We're in week 5, like you mentioned. And Leslie, I want to know, how much weight have you lost?
16 pounds and 9% body fat, but I'm not doing well as the king back here.
Oh, the king back there has lost 20. The king back there has lost 26 pounds. He is the king, right?
Right.
How's it going? You mentioned earlier it was a little difficult here and there, but how are you doing? You feeling better?
I'm starting to feel better. Clothes are starting to feel looser. We like that. So
sure we do. You also mentioned I was with you 2 weeks ago, and you were exercising 3 days a week for 20 minutes. You were walking. How's that going? And have you stepped that up a bit?
I'm up to 4 times a week, 30 minutes apiece.
Wow,
So
that's great. Still walking with your friends?
Still walking with my friends.
Oh, perfect. Okay, Leslie. Well, Leslie's going to get ready here. She's going to do some exercises. I want to introduce Marnie Dolan. Come on in, Marnie. Tell us a little bit about, she's stepped it up a little bit. What do you suggest she work on now?
Well, Leslie's been doing wonderful. As you said, she's increased from 20-minute cardiovascular sessions to 30 minutes. Now that she's lost the body fat, we want to do some muscle toning. We're going to do some exercises today on the exercise ball. And what Leslie is demonstrating right now is a quadricep extension. It works the inner thigh as well as the front of the leg. She just flexes at the knee joint. It's very easy on the joints. It's versatile. It's fun to use. It's actually a tool you can have right at home.
How often does she do this?
She wants to do it at least 3 times a week. We're going to do about 3 or 4 variations of exercises, again, to tone muscle. She wants to increase her metabolism, and like I said, as she reduces body fat, she wants to increase muscle tone.
Marnie, thank you so much for joining us.
Certainly.
Now, I'm going to be joined by Gary Brisker, Program Service Director for Medical Solutions. Gary, thanks so much for doing it. They've really done a fantastic job.
5 inches off Dan's waist and 3 inches off Leslie's in 5 weeks is phenomenal. And their percentage of body fat, Dan's gone down 10% and Leslie's gone down 9%. So they're doing very good.
That's just amazing. Now we have a nutrition tip, Gary's nutrition tip that we're running every day. It says, eat every 3 hours during your day. Can you explain why?
If you need to eat every 3 or 4 hours that you're awake, it's because if you don't, a lot of people skip breakfast or skip lunch. The next thing you eat is going to store as fat. Okay, so even if it's just a piece of fruit or something, you want to keep the metabolic rate burning things. So every 3 to 4 hours that you're awake, you should just eat something.
And then the next one is no solid food 3 to 4 hours after going to sleep.
No, 3 to 4 hours before going to sleep.
Oh,
yeah, so, you definitely can't eat while you're sleeping. But the thing is that you want to definitely not eat 3 to 4 hours before going to sleep because what happens is that all stores as fat also.
Sure.
And a lot of times people wake up very dormant and sluggish because of the fact that their body went through like a Mexican revolution all night instead of resting.
Right.
So you definitely want to have a clean stomach. So no solid food within 3 to 4 hours of sleep, and that way when you wake up in the morning, you're actually hungry to eat breakfast and you won't skip it.
Right. Oh, thank you so much, Gary. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're
Now,
welcome.
if you would like more information on exercise, fitness, weight loss, what we've talked about, you can call Gary Brisker at Medical Solutions at 480-970-0665. They've done a fantastic job, and of course, we will be checking back in with Dan and Leslie next week. Christina?
All right. Today is Weight Loss Wednesday, and we are into the 6th week. One major part of our participants' effort to lose weight is eating right. TV5's Maria Piani went grocery shopping with Leslie and nutritionist Gary Brisker from Medical Solutions.
What we're gonna be doing? Yeah, absolutely.
Leslie and Gary begin in the produce section.
So you definitely want fresh or frozen produce. If you have a choice, obviously always take the fresh.
Remember, green is good.
The broccoli and the spinach, these are very good anti-cancer foods. You like spinach?
I love spinach.
Okay, great.
Leslie doesn't have a lot of time to shop or prepare meals, so she buys in bulk.
I divide it into serving sizes and put it in little Ziploc bags and put it either in the freezer or the refrigerator.
We're not going to get any pig or cow today, but we know that fish swim 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so those are high in protein and low in fat and low in cholesterol. So
Leslie's favorite fish is trout.
you can have all this fish as long as it's baked, broiled, grilled, or even sometimes steamed in a little brown bag.
Gary also says there is a healthy way to shop in the grocery store.
Most supermarkets have all the good stuff around the perimeter of the store, and then all your sugar and fat and your processed foods are all in the center. So that's why I keep them going around the circumference. They don't even see the center of the store. One thing that's interesting about milk.
In the dairy section, you have several to choose from. Whole milk, 2%, 1%, or non-fat.
What that percentage really means is how much butter fat is in the milk. 1% of this milk is butter fat, okay? Now, whole milk has 3% butter fat.
So it's not that much better.
No, but that's why you definitely want to pick the non-fat skim milk, because all the butter fat is skimmed out.
Speaking of skimmed out, Leslie says by skimming the perimeter of the store, it keeps her out of the cookie aisle. Maria Piani, TV5 News.
And coming up in our 6 o'clock hour, we will shop with Dan Brooks. And speaking of cookies, we will tell you why you want to steer clear of these good little guys. Devil's food, they are. We'll tell you why they're not good. Fat-free, but the sugar is not so good for you. And we'll show you a formula to show you how to figure out if the foods have too much sugar and when you should put them back on the shelf. Well, today is the 6th week of Weight Loss Wednesday. Our participants, Leslie Cronin and Dan Brooks, have each lost close to 20 pounds. One major part of their effort to lose weight is eating right. TV5's Mario Piani went grocery shopping with Dan and nutritionist Gary Brisker from Medical Solutions.
You know, you've been so good for the first 5 weeks. You lost 26 pounds and 5 inches off your waist. I think this will be the cart that we use today. Is that okay?
Great.
That'd be fantastic. This way we can get a lot of food in this.
With the training cart, Dan and Gary head straight to the meat department.
You know, you are what you eat, Dan, so you're not allowed to have any pig or cow. But the good news is you can have all this chicken and fish and turkey and seafood. Now here, what's really good about this store is their sausages don't have the pig and cow. They don't have the pork. These are made with turkey and with chicken. And there's no sodium nitrates, no preservatives, and there's no MSG. So these, you can barbecue these all day long.
Dan is following a fat and sugar formula that's helping him lose weight. Here it is. Take the total fat grams, multiply by 10, and divide the calories per serving. Do the same with the grams of sugar. Multiply by 10, divide the calories. Both totals must equal less than 20%.
Here you have fat-free cream cheese. And it sounds good because there's no fat, but you take the sugar grams and you multiply times 10, it's 20. Divide by the calories per serving, which is 30, that's 66% sugar. And it's interesting because they have an asterisk that says there is no sugar in regular cream cheese. Are there any of these canned products that you like that it might be easy and quick to make?
Yeah, there's one right here.
Okay, the chicken chili or the turkey chili?
The chicken.
Dan and Gary put the formula to the test.
You can have this. This is no problem because the fat and sugar are both low enough and satisfy the formula.
The turkey chili didn't make it. Too much sugar.
Here we have a 7-grain bread, which sounds good. It sounds nice and healthy. However, it's made with molasses and high corn syrup, so it's got 4 grams of sugar with only, 100 calories per serving. So that's 40% sugar in this, so we can't have this. It's way too high in sugar. This loaf here, a rye bread, has no sugar grams and 1 gram of fat with 70 calories per serving, so definitely under 20% we can eat this.
By sticking to the formula, Dan is losing weight and feeling better.
Look at all the groceries you got in that cart. That's
Maria Piani, TV5 News.
I think the smaller cart is the key there. It looks great. And we have another example of the sugar and fat formula. Snackwell's Devil Food Cakes. Here they are. They have no fat, but they have 7 grams of sugar. Here's the nutrition panel you have to look for. And multiply that by 10, which is 70. Then divide by the number of calories, which is only 50. Well, the sugar makes up more than 20% of the calories in the cookies. That is too much, so you can't have these. For more information about the formula or what we talk about on the Weight Loss Wednesday, you can call Medical Solutions and ask for Gary Brisker. The number is 480-970-0665. You can also visit our website at kphotv5.com or call the helpline at 602-650-5555 to get more information. Today is week 8 of Weight Loss Wednesday. Both of our participants in the 13-week program are making great progress. Dan Brooks has lost 35 pounds and 13% body fat. Way to go, Dan. Leslie Cronin has lost 23 pounds and 9% body fat. Good for you. And like many people trying to lose weight, Dan and Leslie have had trouble figuring out what to order when eating at a restaurant. TV5's Mario Piani shows us the do's and don'ts of eating out.
So you guys ready for a nice healthy meal?
Participants Dan and Leslie and Gary Brisker of Medical Solutions head to breakfast at the Good Egg.
Right this way.
Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You should eat the most food when you are the most active.
The problem with Americans is they skip breakfast, and when you go over 3 hours with nothing in your system, the next thing you eat is going to store as fat.
Would you like some coffee or fresh squeezed juice this morning?
I think what I'd like is a chocolate milkshake.
We'll have 2 freshly squeezed grapefruit juice, please.
Grapefruit or the juice helps burn fat, something both Leslie and Dan are working on.
Are you ready to order now?
I'd like the Nurse's Bialy breakfast without cream cheese.
Leslie orders off the heart-healthy portion of the menu, which is a great guideline. She leaves off the cream cheese because it has too much sugar. Ordering is the key to a healthy meal, and Gary says fibbing helps him get what he wants.
Did you make sure, like when they prepare the omelet, that there's no trace of butter, margarine, or any cooking oils? Because I faint.
Gary says no bacon, sausage, or cheese, but egg whites, vegetables, fruit, and dry toast are all okay.
I didn't think that I could eat breakfast. I mean, I eat Cheerios and fruit or shredded wheat and fruit. So I didn't even think I could go into a restaurant and order a breakfast.
Leslie wouldn't go to a restaurant the first 3 weeks on the weight loss program, afraid she would splurge.
Enjoy your meal.
She now decides what she's going to eat before getting to the restaurant, so she's not tempted with other things on the menu. Maria Piani, TV5 News.
And if you're eating eggs this morning, consider this. The yolks are 75% cholesterol. Egg whites, on the other hand, are low in cholesterol and provide 4 to 6 grams of protein. Coming up in our next hour, find out what Dan ordered. And if you would like more information on nutrition and weight loss, just call Medical Solutions at 480-970-0665 and ask for Gary Brisker.